You start something new, a workout plan, a study routine, a new habit. Day 1 feels amazing. You're focused, motivated, even excited. Day 2, still good. Day 3, something feels off. By day 5, you're already skipping, and by the end of the week, it's gone. So what happened? Did your discipline disappear? Or did your brain change the rules? Most people think motivation is something you either have or don't, but that's not how it works. Motivation is a biological process. It's driven by brain chemistry, reward systems, and how your mind evaluates effort and outcomes. The reason motivation fades so quickly isn't random. It's actually predictable because your brain treats starting something new very differently than continuing it. Let's start with the beginning. The first day of any new goal feels powerful. That's because of something called the novelty effect. When you try something new, your brain releases dopamine, not because you've achieved anything yet, but because of anticipation. The brain loves new possibilities. New plans feel exciting, new goals feel rewarding, even before results happen. This creates what feels like a surge of motivation, but it's not stable, it's temporary, because your brain isn't rewarding progress yet, it's rewarding the idea of progress. Now here's where things start to shift. After a few days, the novelty fades, the task becomes familiar, repetitive, predictable, and your brain adapts. This is called neural adaptation. The same activity that once felt exciting now feels normal, and normal doesn't trigger the same dopamine response. At the same time, reality starts to show up. The effort becomes clear, the results are slower than expected, and this creates a gap between expectation and reality. Your brain constantly compares what it expects with what actually happens. This process is called reward prediction. If the outcome matches or exceeds expectations, motivation increases. But if the outcome falls short, motivation drops. This is known as a reward prediction error, and it plays a huge role in why people lose motivation. You expected fast results, but progress is slow, so your brain reduces the reward signal, and suddenly the task feels less worth doing. Now add effort into the equation. Your brain is constantly calculating something. Is this worth the effort? This is called effort discounting. If a task feels too demanding compared to its reward, the brain loses interest, even if the long-term benefit is huge. This is why habits like studying, working out, or learning new skills feel harder over time, because they require delayed gratification. The reward isn't immediate, and the brain prefers instant gratification. But this is where things get really interesting. Motivation isn't designed to last. It was never meant to. From an evolutionary perspective, motivation is a short-term activation system. It pushes you to start, but it doesn't guarantee you'll continue. Long-term behavior depends on something else: habit formation. When a behavior becomes a habit, it requires less mental effort. It moves from the prefrontal cortex, which handles effortful decisions, to more automatic systems in the brain. But here's the problem. Habits take time to form, and during that time, motivation is already fading. So there's a gap, a phase where the behavior is no longer exciting, but not yet automatic. This phase is where most people quit. Another factor is cognitive fatigue. Starting something new requires attention, planning, and decision-making, all of which consume mental energy. Over time, this leads to fatigue, and when your brain is tired, it avoids effort. That's when task aversion kicks in. The brain starts associating the activity with effort and discomfort. So it looks for easier alternatives, like scrolling, resting, or doing nothing. And then there's identity. At the beginning, your goal is external. I want to get fit. I want to study more. But until that goal becomes part of your identity, it feels optional. And optional behaviors are easier to drop. Consistency also plays a role. Missing one day creates a small break in the pattern. That break reduces momentum. And without momentum, the brain has to reinitiate effort, which feels harder each time. Here's something most people don't realize. Motivation often follows action, not the other way around. Waiting to feel motivated before starting is backwards, because action itself can trigger dopamine and rebuild momentum. Fast fact, people who rely only on motivation are more likely to quit early. Another one. Habits reduce mental effort by automating behavior, and surprisingly, small, consistent actions often lead to better long-term results than intense bursts of motivation. So what's actually happening when you lose motivation? It's not failure, it's a combination of systems: the novelty effect fading, dopamine levels adjusting, expectations clashing with reality, effort feeling heavier, and habits not fully formed. All of this creates a natural drop in motivation, a phase that almost everyone experiences. But here's the key insight. Motivation isn't meant to carry you, it's meant to start you. What keeps you going is structure, repetition, and reducing the effort needed to continue. Because the brain doesn't reward difficulty, it rewards efficiency. So the next time you feel like you've lost motivation after a few days, it doesn't mean you're lazy. It means your brain has moved past the excitement phase, and now it's waiting for something else to take over. Consistency. If you found this helpful, share this video and subscribe to the channel for more insights into how your brain actually works. Because once you understand the system, you stop blaming yourself and start working with your brain instead of against it.